2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 13th of October, and it's Emergency Nurses Day. And a big happy birthday to Sacha Baron Cohen, Edwina Curry, Tiffany Trump, and AOC.
7.
There were 38,520 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday and 181 additional deaths reported on Monday. There was a strong reaction to the publication of a cross-party report on the initial response by the government to the pandemic, which described the failure to lock down early enough as one of the country's worst public health failures. Greg Clark MP, chairman of the Science and Technology Committee, says it was a tough time to make big decisions, but mistakes were made.
We were too slow in that initial lockdown. Even the government's advisors said that if we'd locked down a week earlier, we might have even saved half of the number of deaths in that initial wave. We locked down too late.
And Cabinet Minister Stephen Barclay didn't exactly seem apologetic as he faced Kay Burley over the government's slow pace in instituting the initial lockdown.
Of course, if there are lessons to learn, we're keen to do so.
Keen to start with an apology, though, I would have thought.
Well, no, we followed the scientific advice.
So no apology?
We followed the scientific advice. We protected the NHS.
20,000 lives needlessly lost because you didn't lock down a week earlier and you don't want to apologise.
The reaction from those not in Boris's cabinet was quite different, although he's on holiday so he may not have seen it. Labour leader Keir Starmer says it's up to Boris to apologise and face up to the catalogue of failures in the report.
The Prime Minister should take responsibility because the responsibility is his. The damning indictment of the government and the flaws and errors and failures.
While there was praise for the speed of the vaccine rollout, the early stages of the pandemic and the government's release of patients into care homes was a serious error, according to Nadra Ahmed, chair of the National Care Association.
The report has actually picked up things that we were saying from the outset, that social care was an afterthought. But what we didn't know was that the discharge out of hospitals was actually not through testing, and they weren't safe discharges.
And even though he was in the room for most of the early part of the pandemic, Dominic Cummings was quick to chip in with his viewpoint.
Me and others put into place work to try and improve the system in 2020 after the first wave. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister, being the joke that he is, has not pushed that work through.
Joe Biden's grand plan to tackle America's long-standing issues have struggled to get through Congress, partly because with a price tag of $3.5 trillion, many politicians just couldn't or wouldn't agree to the votes needed. Now Nancy Pelosi is getting ready to try again with a smaller price tag, but keeping many of the key elements in Joe's Build America Back Better plan.
I'm very disappointed that we're not going with the original $3.5 trillion, which was very transformative. Build Back Better is 3 baskets. It's climate, which we spent some time talking about already, health, jobs, security, and moral responsibility.
Even 5 years on, Brexit continues to cause drama, as Brexit Minister Lord Frost is once again challenging the North Ireland Protocol that Boris signed up to. He's now written a new text for the protocol, but it's highly unlikely to be accepted by Ireland or the EU. The European side are due to put forward new proposals on Wednesday, but it's still possible the UK could trigger Article 16, which would override the agreement and lead to further border chaos.
The protocol is not working. It's not doing the thing it was set up to do. Protect the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. In fact, doing the opposite. We're asking you, the EU, to work with us and to make sure the peace process is not undermined.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Jessie Nelson accused of blackfishing, and the new Scream trailer just dropped. Right after this.
I'm broadcaster Katie Puckerick, poised and ready to help you prepare for the imminent arrival of Succession Season 3. There are no spoilers and no opinions, just a simple chronological walkthrough of events. Haven't got time to watch 20 hours worth before Season 3 kicks off? That's what I'm here for. Previously on Succession, available wherever you get your podcasts.
3.
There was more World Cup qualifying action on Tuesday, with Northern Ireland losing 2-1 in Bulgaria, while Scotland struggled to beat the Faroe Islands 1-0 with a last-gasp goal. England faced Hungary at Wembley in a game marred by violent clashes between the Hungarian fans and the Met Police. The game ended in a 1-1 draw. There's a new football documentary on the way from Amazon Prime, though. This one looks at the tabloid-soaked life of England striker Wayne Rooney, and it's quite a wild ride. It features Wayne, plenty of football footage, and a glimpse into his personal life as Colleen Rooney says she forgives him.
I knew groups that Wayne was hanging around with, not good.
From a press point of view, they were a front page and back page couple.
I forgive him, but it wasn't acceptable.
For me, it's important that people remember me for who I am rather than what I've done.
Jessie Nelson left Little Mix in December of last year after 9 years with the group, who sold 50 million records worldwide. She said at the time that being in the band had taken a toll on her mental health. Now she finds herself in the middle of another row as she launches her first solo single, Boys, which features Nicki Minaj and P. Diddy. She's been accused of blackfishing in the video. That's when a non-black person tries to appear black. She says the new single just reflects the music she grew up with, and her appearance in the video is not intended to offend anyone. Her new best mate Nicki Minaj had her back on an Instagram live feed.
If you was in this woman's group and you ain't talk about this for 10 years, and as soon as you see she got a video come out with Nicki Minaj and Puffy, now you sending the stations text messages and all this shit. If that's how you felt, why would you keep keying with her and being in the video with her for 10 years? Now, all of a sudden, she's not in a video with you. You have some negative, evil thing to do and say? Stop!
The first official trailer for the new Scream movie just dropped. It's not out until January, but it's an action-packed first look. Our old friend Ghostface is back, along with David Arquette, Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell. Scariest of all, the killer still uses a landline. No!
There's certain rules to surviving.
The attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
Whatever his link is to our past, it's pulled us all back here. And I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.